So Elizabeth Warren was at the National Press Club, and she dodged a question in a really, really clunky way. Take a look.
Sam Husseini with The Nation and the Institute for Public Accuracy. Cortez, who was mentioned earlier, and other likely incoming congressional members next year propose slashing the military budget to help pay for human and environmental needs. Do you agree? And if I could, a second question, would you consider introducing and sponsoring Betty McCollum's bill on Palestinian children's rights in the Senate?
So I now sit on armed services. And boy, I have been in the middle of the sausage-making factory on that one. And that has pushed me even more strongly in the direction of systemic reforms. I want to be able to have those debates. I want to be able to get them out in the open and talk about these core issues that affect our government, affect our people. I want to be able to debate them on the floor of the Senate. I want to be able to do amendments on them. Right now, the hold of big money over our government stops much of that. It chokes off much of the debate we should have. So I'm going to give you a system-wide answer because I think that's what matters here. This is not about one particular proposal. This is all the way across. How is it that we get the voices of the people heard in government instead of over and over the voices of the wealthy and the well-connected, the voices of those who can hire armies of lobbyists? So for me, that's what this is about.
That was the worst dodge I've ever seen. The question was so straightforward and so simple, and she couldn't answer it in a plain way. She was asked about cutting military spending to fund, domestic priorities, and she was asked about a specific bill that protects the rights of Palestinian children. You want to know how you answer that? If you are in favor of cutting military spending and are in favor of protecting the rights of Palestinian children, here's how you answer it. Yes, I'm in favor of that bill and I'll co-sponsor it, and yes, I want to cut military spending. That's it. That's all you got to do. That's it. That's it. That's it. If she answered like that, perhaps we'd be doing this segment to give her credit, to be like, oh, well, that was straightforward, and she's on the record now. She wants to protect the rights of Palestinian kids, and she wants to cut military spending. But she doesn't want to do those things. She's not good on the issue of Israel-Palestine. She's a standard establishment Democrat on that issue. And on the issue of military spending, she voted for Donald Trump's monstrous increase in military spending. Guys, you got to understand how wild that is. The entire Democratic Party says, wow, Donald Trump is a thin-skinned moron, a buffoon. He doesn't have the temperament for this position, and his finger should be nowhere near the red button, and he should not be the one to control our great military. They say that, and then they turn around and voted to give him a bigger military than he even asked for, and they authorized more NSA spying powers for him. To be fair, I don't know how Warren voted on that part, the NSA part, but she voted for his increase in the military spending. So in other words, the biggest criticism that the left has against Elizabeth Warren, she just said in no uncertain terms, oh, that criticism is totally merited and you shouldn't trust me on foreign policy. That's what just happened. That's it. That's what just happened. Oh, don't trust me on foreign policy. No, I'm really bad on that. So now we have a candidate, and again, nowhere near Bernie, just be honest about that. Bernie's talking about cutting aid to Israel and redirecting some of that money for humanitarian aid in Gaza. Talking about leveraging our subsidy to them. Warren voted for Trump's military budget. Bernie is in favor of eliminating all student loan debt. Bernie is in favor of eliminating all medical debt. Elizabeth Warren, not in favor of eliminating all student loan debt, not in favor of eliminating all medical debt. I mean, they're not really close. Like, we're not... Is anybody under that, under that delusion anymore? I'm so happy that Cenk Uygur came out and endorsed Bernie the other day. I knew in his heart of hearts, I knew all along he leaned in favor of Bernie. So it was weird to me that there was still he was doing like a little bit of a false equivalence there for an extended period of time where he was like, oh, Warren and Bernie, Warren and Bernie, Warren and Bernie, and acting like it's 50-50. It's not. It's nowhere near 50-50. And this is just yet another example. It wasn't even an artful way of BSing your way through the question. I've seen Trump more artfully BS a question than that. But it was just like, I believe, systemic reform is good. It's good, and we should do more of systemic reform. I asked you about cutting the military budget and protecting Palestinian kids. New phone, who dis?